I'm streaming on Twitch now. Go drop me a follow and enjoy the video. Link in the description. How's it going, everyone? Chris here, and welcome back to another Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC leak discussion video. In today's video, we are actually going to be taking a look at another 7-Eleven ad that focuses this time around Banjo-Kazooie. So if you guys remember before, we actually had a Japanese 7-Eleven ad for the hero in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and that kind of predicted when the hero was going to be released in the game. So we actually have that same kind of evidence, but now for Banjo-Kazooie. However, guys, as always, and I cannot stress this enough, just because this ad may have some kind of credibility in predicting the release date of Banjo-Kazooie, that does not mean that he is going to be released on that day for sure, so make sure you guys take this with a grain of salt and realize that I'm talking about this just for fun. If you guys would like to read while I talk, you can find the link to the original post in the description right down below, and now with all that out of the way, I have to tell you guys where this leak came from. So guys, this leak was sent in to me by one of my subscribers on my Discord server, so if you guys haven't already joined up, you can find a link to my Discord as well as links to all of my other social media presences, such as my Twitter and Patreon, in the description right down below, as well as the pinned comment. And now guys, with all of that out of the way, the leak that we are going to be taking a look at today comes from nintendosoup.com, so let's go ahead and take a look at it, shall we? So guys, like I said, this leak comes from nintendosoup.com, and it is titled, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Banjo-Kazooie DLC could be launching by September 15th. It starts by saying, today we have some interesting news concerning the release date of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC character Banjo-Kazooie. A 7-Eleven location in Japan has put up a poster promoting download cards for Link's Awakening, as well as the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Season Pass with Banjo-Kazooie beside it. Notably, this display is only to be displayed until September 15th. This is identical to how the Dragon Quest Hero DLC was advertised before launching shortly thereafter. Back then, the Heroes poster was only supposed to stay up until August 4th, although the DLC launched earlier on July 30th or 31st. So in a tweet from Push Dustin, they say, new Smash display at 7-Eleven in Japan. It shows Banjo-Kazooie. The pop display is supposed to be up until the 15th. Given past trends, it looks like the duo could be joining Smash by September 15th or even earlier. We'll report back if this turns out to be the case. So now that we've gone over this entire post, let's talk about it a little bit. So guys, the first thing that I want to go ahead and talk about is the poster itself. So as you guys can see on screen right now, here is the poster that is currently up in the Japan-only 7-Elevens. Now, as you guys can clearly see, there's a couple of download cards for different games, like The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, which is not currently out yet, Super Mario Maker 2, which is already out, as well as Astral Chain, which once again is already out. However, the thing that is very interesting about this poster is that the two things that have not been released yet, being The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening and Banjo-Kazooie, are right next to each other. Now for this, guys, I want to go ahead and take a look back at the Hero 7-Eleven ad, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. So as you guys can see on screen right now, here is the image for the 7-Eleven ad for the hero. Now this was the original one, as I don't believe that Joker got one, but one of the most interesting things to note on this is that Fire Emblem Three Houses is right next to the hero. Now, similar to what's happening with Banjo-Kazooie and The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, the hero is right by a game he is going to be releasing alongside, or at least very close to. I believe that Fire Emblem Three Houses came out on July 26th, and then we saw the hero on July 30th or the 31st or whatever, so those two, since they were releasing around the same time frame, got to have their pictures really close to each other, and I think that that's what's happening with this poster. Obviously, they could have put Banjo-Kazooie next to anyone. I mean, they could have put it next to Luigi's Mansion 3, or Pokemon Sword and Shield, or anything else like that, but just for the fact that they decided to put it next to The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, which is releasing on September 20th, I have a very strong feeling that Banjo-Kazooie is going to be releasing very soon. So now guys, the next thing that I want to go ahead and talk about is that they only put these posters up for new Super Smash Bros. Ultimate characters, it seems. Now, I could be wrong about this because once again, I don't live in Japan and I don't go to Japanese 7-Elevens like this, but the only two posters like this that I have seen have been for the Hero and Banjo-Kazooie and not really anybody else. Now, if we do decide to let the Hero 7-Eleven ad indicate us towards anything, then that would mean that we are going to see the release of Banjo-Kazooie, like they said, around September 15th. Now, this is supposed to go down before September 15th, which is a little bit confusing, and I'm going to explain why. In the Hero ad, which we saw, Fire Emblem Three Houses released on July 26th, and the Hero released on July 30th or 31st, depending on where you were, and then this ad ended up going down on August 4th. However, guys, if this ad only lasts until September 15th, that's a couple of days before The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening releases, and that might not be when Banjo-Kazooie releases, so it is a little confusing to say the least. Now, we might get Banjo-Kazooie before September 15th. Personally, guys, I have a feeling we're going to get him around the 24th or 25th, but I don't know. This is just kind of confusing because I'm surprised they're not keeping it up that long, especially since The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening isn't even going to be out by the time this ad is done displaying. Now, with all of that being said though, guys, there is another thing that I want to quickly discuss, and that is the possibility of a Nintendo Direct. Now, obviously, guys, this poster that is currently sitting in a Japanese 7-Eleven does not mean that we are going to be having a Nintendo Direct anytime soon. However, I do believe that it might be an indication that we might be getting one soon. Now, like this ad says, this is only going to be up until about September 15th when they are going to be taking it down. Well, if Link's Awakening and Banjo-Kazooie aren't even released by September 15th, why would they already take this ad down? It doesn't even make a lot of sense, and personally, the reason I think that that would happen is because Nintendo is going to be revealing a couple of brand new games, and they're going to want to switch out the poster, so that way we can see the different games and everything else like that, because we are starting to get into the holiday season. Obviously, Christmas is a couple of months away, and Nintendo is going to want to push as many games and as many Nintendo Switch Lites as possible, which is why I think they're probably going to switch to display. I mean, if you guys take a look at this poster, there is no mention of the Switch Lite anywhere, which is extremely crazy. The Switch Lite is a console that Nintendo really wants to push, so why wouldn't it be up there with The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening and Banjo-Kazooie? I mean, the Switch Lite is releasing on the same day as The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, so why wouldn't there be any mention of it at all? It just doesn't make a ton of sense, which is why I think that they're probably going to tear this ad down and put up ads for the Switch Lite right around the same time. Once again, guys, the Switch Lite is something that Nintendo is really going to want to push, so of course they're going to want to advertise as much as possible. So on July 16th, I wouldn't be shocked at all if we started seeing ads in Japanese 7-Elevens, specifically for the Nintendo Switch Lite. However, guys, with all of that being said, do I believe that this is an indication that Banjo-Kazooie is actually going to release before September 15th? Honestly, guys, I don't. Now, the reason why I don't think Banjo-Kazooie is going to release until September 24th or 25th is because of the amiibo theory. Now, if you guys don't know what that is, I will leave a link to a video in the description right down below that you guys can go ahead and watch, but basically, the amiibo theory states that each time we get a new wave of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate amiibo, we get a brand new DLC character 4 or 5 days later. Now, we have already seen this with both Joker and Hero, because with Joker, we saw the release of the Ken, Young Link, and Daisy amiibo, and then a couple of days later, Joker released. And then, in July, we saw the release of Pichu, Pokemon Trainer, and Isabelle, and then a couple of days later, once again, we saw the release of Hero. So now, guys, coming up on the 20th, we have the release of the Nintendo Switch Lite, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, as well as the Snake, Ivysaur, and Squirtle amiibo, which means that if the amiibo theory holds true, we should see the release of Banjo-Kazooie on either September 24th or September 25th. Now, another reason why I think that those dates are extremely likely is because they are Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, there's no official rule for what day of the week a character can be playable and downloaded or anything like that, but we have already seen with Joker and Hero that these characters release around the middle of the week on nights when like there aren't a lot of people trying to download, so that way the servers can like keep up with the heavy demand of people trying to download all these characters. So I think that it's pretty likely that we are going to be seeing, just like Hero and just like Joker, Banjo-Kazooie release like late at night, like 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Tuesday or Wednesday night. However, guys, with all of that being said, let me know your thoughts about all this in the comment section down below. Do you guys believe that we're going to see the release of Banjo-Kazooie before September 15th? Or do you guys think that the amiibo theory is actually going to hold true and we aren't going to see Banjo-Kazooie until a little later in September? Why or why not? Thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, share, and like, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.